players planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money, whatever spring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me.
Hi guys, sorry about that little bit of technical glitch there, but we're up.
All right.
Okay. I didn't hear the live music going on. I was waiting for it. All right. So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to AstroWorld TV. And we are here with Jason on the left. We got Tom on the right from Primalucelab, and we got Eric on the bottom hanging out. He just finished dinner, so he is good to go.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm fueled up.
So first thing, let me just throw out something. And, you know, ever since COVID started, the interest in astronomy and the astrophotography has just completely boomed. I mean, the astro community, the community is growing faster than I've seen in 30 years. Boom. But if you guys want to get involved in AstroWorld or you want to come down and be on the show or post a video or whatever, just let us know and hit us up at our email at astroworld.email@gmail.com. And that's going to change. I don't like the email, but it'll change later. Just a couple of things. Next month, we're going to have Stacy Downton, and that's going to be on that date to be announced because we're going to change that date, Stacy. So if you're watching, I'm going to hit you up later. So tonight we got Tom Bramwell, and he is the Director of Operations for Primalucelab in the newly formed North America division. So we're really excited, and everybody knows what a big fan of Primalucelab. I'm the only Primalucelab owner here, the Eagle owner. Everyone else is doing the ASIR Pro, I think. So, and Tom's going to stop.
I mean, you never know, man. You never know.
We're going to have us a chat today. Yeah, no, let me stop you. It's Primaluce.
Primaluce.
First one. Primaluce.
As opposed to Prima Noche.
Yeah. But we're not Primaluce or Primaluce. I get Primaluce. Primaluce.
Well, I know a lot of people in the U.S. have been going out. Primalucelabs. And if you really want to butcher it, that's what you say.
You have to have it with the Italian. Primaluce.
And you have to have a little coffee with you.
Exactly.
Hundreds that I'll hook you up. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit how you got involved with Primaluce, and let us know how you got involved with this, because I know there's a nice little story going on. But tell us a little bit on your background and how you got involved.
Sure. Yeah. Well, so first and foremost, I was a customer, just like you. So I actually met them several years ago at AIC in San Jose. And I was working at a booth. I have an Avalon. I have a couple of Avalon mounts. And I decided with their distributor that I was going to help them in their booth at AIC, since I lived in town and I had their mount, they could show my gear. So I was helping them out in the booth, and their distributor was flying from Italy, and I was going to go pick him up in San Francisco. And he said, hey, there's a couple other Italian fellows that are traveling with me. One of them is going to share the booth with us at AIC. Can you give them a ride? One of them was Dr. Filippo Bradascia, my now boss. So I got to meet him and gave him a lengthy car ride home from San Francisco back to San Jose to his hotel. And he was telling me about this magic device that he was going to be debuting at AIC, which was the Eagle 2. And he was describing it to me, and I was having kind of a hard time understanding what it was like in the car. But he's like, I'm going to bring one tomorrow and I'll show you. When we get to the show, I'll show you. So he shows me this thing and it like blew my mind. Like it was the exact solution I had been looking for to all the problems that I was having in astrophotography at the time. I was actually shooting and working on a Mac, and I was having trouble with finding compatible devices and software that worked as easily as my friends on the Windows side. So I was kind of getting ready to jump ship to Windows at the time. And then this device is presented to me that also cuts out all sorts of other complexity. I fell in love with it. And so over the course of the show, Filippo and I became really good friends. And he left me with serial number 3 of the Eagle 2 for helping him at the show and picking him up at the airport and everything. And it just changed everything that I did in astrophotography. So over the next several months, we became closer friends. I started exploring some of their other products, like focus motors and things that also made my life easier. And just over the course of our friendship, eventually, like, he would have some issues here in the United States that I was technically capable of solving for him. So like some repairs and things for some users that it would be helpful for him to have a pair of hands here in the United States. I offered up my services, and eventually it kind of grew from there to investing in the company, and they really want a presence here in the United States, and I was ready to fulfill that role for them. So.
Nice.
Life-changing.
Yeah. I'd been in tech in Silicon Valley for 20 years at Apple, and I was ready for a career change. And so this came along at just the right time, and I could follow my heart. This is exactly what I wanted to do. Yeah.
That's just awesome, because you know, just to make that kind of jump and have the opportunity to do it, and also to help us out in the U.S. I mean, you know, it's just like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I think that's great that you got involved, and how you got involved is even that's just a great story. I love it.
I just really dig their design, and they're astrophotographers too, so they get the problems. And Omar Kaus is our lead designer and CTO there, and he dreams all the wonderful products up, and I've really come to appreciate him. I think he's probably my favorite designer, like, ever. And I've worked with some pretty cool ones at Apple and in the industry.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, you've been in the technology industry for a long time, so you were able to kind of gauge that. So that's
yeah,
really
I could see the quality there, and it was very reminiscent of what I was used to in tech. So it felt very comfortable for me.
I was gonna say, that's a pretty big leap going from somebody as big as Apple to the Primalucelab.
I'm employee number 10.
That's
nice.
awesome, though.
Nice. Well,
So
Tom,
let me ask you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eric. Go ahead.
So Tom, let me ask you this. Okay, so you've been with Primalucelab, but what got you initially into the hobby? What drew you to the hobby?
Oh, into photography?
Yeah, what drew you?
My old man, I would say. So back in '86, we went out and filmed. My dad, we photographed Halley's Comet with all of his friends out in the desert. And he kind of taught me how long exposure photography worked. He built this rig to track the stars, and it kind of fascinated me. He died fairly early on in my life, so I lost the ability to really tap him for information once I had the disposable income to jump into the hobby.
Sure.
But the curiosity was always there for me, and I've always been a massive camera junkie. I love cameras. I've always, the DSLRs and stuff for terrestrial photography and nature photography. I've always just been drawn to trying to take a picture of the cosmos to replicate some of the things my dad could do.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, every time I go out, I connect with him, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good way to keep, definitely a good way to keep contact,
Yes.
Keep the memory alive.
Keep the memory alive, exactly.
The things that I can do now would just absolutely blow his mind. If I could have 5 minutes.
And you got a wireless computer sitting on top of a telescope that does everything while you're sleeping. So
do my bidding.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I can kind of relate because, my father never really got into this. He's an amateur astro guy. He's just getting into it. He's got a very basic scope, but he's loving seeing what I've done in the last year and a half. So I can completely relate. So it's something that my dad and I are now using to bond that we had kind of glanced on in my childhood, but never really fully developed. So now being able to take this whole different step with him, it started with DSLR and now into cooled photography with dedicated cameras are making a huge difference in being able to help make that connection, between Arizona and Michigan. So
yeah,
it's kind of cool.
I definitely got the same kind of story. It wasn't with my dad; it was my Uncle Charlie, and I guess it was probably in the late 70s. It had to be like 78, 79. I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. And my uncle had this, I don't even know what kind of scope it was. It didn't even have a diagonal on it. It was just like a straight kind of like monocular type telescope. It was just straight. There was no diagonal. So the eyepiece was stuck in the back, and we're sitting there looking at Saturn for the first time. And we're laying in the ground because there was no diagonal. So we're laying in the ground, and Saturn's up in the sky, and we got our head in the grass. And we looked at it, and the first time I saw that, I was like, oh, wow, this is awesome. And then same thing like you, Tom, when I finally got some nice disposable income and I started working, I bought, my first telescope was an old C8. And then it was history. It wasn't the orange tube. I didn't have the orange tube. But it was the first re-release of the C8 back in, I think, I want to say it's the late 80s. I think there was a re-release of the C8, so I got that, and I bought it because it said tracking, and I thought tracking meant go-to, but there was no go-to yet. So basically, you find it and you plug it in, and it moves with the stars, and that's what tracking was. But so tell us something. So you got into astrophotography. You got some killer photos. I've seen a bunch of your photos of your rig. And how has not only you just moved recently, how has the move and building Primalucelab in the United States, how has that kind of how has it gone? I mean, is it going well? Is everything going to plan?
I'm trying to balance my time out in the dark and then trying to be productive during the daytime. There are some weird naps that happen at weird times, but I'm trying to keep up. I'm very fortunate that I have a really nice place to shoot very close to home, 45 minutes from home. I can get up, above 1,000 meters altitude and get above the fog, so I can be much more productive with my nights, but it's not at home. So there's no bathroom there and there's no power. I got to deal with all that myself. So it takes effort. But I'm also able to shoot from my backyard. I can actually be really productive here. I live really close to the Marine base. And
that was that explosions that we heard in the background.
Yeah. You may hear it. That's the sound of freedom. It'll pass. But
Freedom or the explosion?
It's super dark out there. It's like a hole in the earth, really. So I get to benefit from that, and I can actually shoot pretty reasonable RGB from my backyard.
Really? I unfortunately do not have that. Being in a Portal 8 sky on Long Island, the light pollution of the United States, I think. But yeah, so it's great that you could be productive and at nighttime and daytime where you are.
Yeah. No, the move went really well. It was pretty stressful, but we're pretty settled in. I have a shop pretty well set up and racks ready for inventory. So we've been working in Italy with some business consultants there that have experience in both the United States and in Italy, and they're making sure that all the legal things are set up that we need to do, and we should hopefully be ready to roll here soon. Start receiving product and fill these shelves. I'd love to be able to send you guys an order in days versus weeks. It would be nice.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with you. Primaluce has been, with their shipping even coming from Italy. I mean, it's been pretty good. I mean, they're pretty fast.
Yeah, they once they get an order, they can turn it around pretty quickly. They've got a really nice system there for inventory tracking and control. It's really nice. It's far more robust than you would expect in a company of 10 people. But I get to leverage that same system here, which is going to be great. The license covers me here, and I'll be part of their inventory system, which will be really cool.
That's going to be great. So they'll know what you have. So in case they don't have something in Italy, they want to ship it out. They can go right to you, and if you got it,
we're going to have at least one of everything they make here in my inventory. So all the popular items I will keep in bulk. So
nice.
Won't have to wait for eagles anymore or tasty nuggets like this.
And is that the? I can't see it on here. Is that the Asato?
That is the 3-inch Asato.
That's a 3-inch. Okay, that thing is humongous.
Now comes in 4-inch.
I know. I saw it. You can put your fist through that.
I mean, I don't know why you'd want to, but you could.
You could use it as a nice red bracelet. It's an expensive bracelet.
Yeah, pretty expensive.
It's going to bring welcome relief to a lot of FSQ owners out there that really appreciate their optics, but might not appreciate their focusers so much.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have definitely been, expanding your product base over the past 2 years. Quite a lot. Like, I think that almost every year for the past 3 years, you're coming out with a new focuser.
Yeah. I mean, pardon the pun, we're very focused on it. I mean,
I can tell.
It's a drive of ours, and you've seen the Arco that's coming out as well.
I was going to say, hopefully you don't rotate and lose your focus.
Yeah, right. So getting that system, that incorporated system out to market has been like a driving force of ours for a while now. It's finally coming through. The Arco is going to be coming very soon.
Nice.
We have working prototypes.
Really?
I tell you, the entire hobby, I only started imaging in the spring of 2018. It's when I really got started. And even then, within the past 2 years, this entire industry is just like to Dan's point, it has just exploded. Are you surprised how well or how much it has just grown over even these past 2 years with all of the innovation?
Yeah, I like to actually kind of trace it back to the first season of Cosmos, the reboot.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
With Neil deGrasse Tyson, yeah.
Yeah, and that kind of lit a fire under some people. And honestly, that's kind of when I started pushing myself outside more and looking up more. And that kind of seems to be like, if you go back and look at the timing when everybody kind of started getting into it again. Hey man, right on. Yeah.
Self, I'm from the south side of Chicago, so and where I grew up, this wasn't even astronomy or anything like that. Really wasn't, a forethought, in my mind. But I did love just looking up, because in Chicago, you've got Bordeaux 8, Bordeaux 9 skies, and then at least where I live, all you could really see were maybe a couple planets, maybe some of the brightest stars, and the moon. So my outlet was actually the Adler Planetarium in Chicago. And whenever I had a chance to go there as a kid on field trips where my parents would take me, that's where I got my outlet and got more exposure, just looking at even the videos of astronauts, the space shuttle and stuff like that. Growing up in that time, even with the Challenger tragedy, it didn't deter me. But then when I got into through high school and I got into the Navy, and then I had to go out, and then I go out to sea, and you're talking about the darkest site. It was, this is God's earth. I was like, oh, holy crap. To see this every night, just to look up, and there's absolutely no pollution, or anything like that. That's what changed it for me. And then, just like you guys were saying, when I finally got to the point where I had the disposable income, that's when my wife, she surprised me for my birthday with my 8SE. And
my scope was an 8-inch SCT. So high five, everybody.
So there you go. Great. So that's like the intro, right? And then I started, but then I started seeing the like Cosmos and Neil deGrasse Tyson and all these other and YouTubers, showing these incredible images. And I'm like, wait a minute, why can't I do this? I can do this. I've got a telescope now. And then everything just evolved, going from refractor to what I have now with the Rasa. But to my point, just within these past 2 years, it just amazes me how much has changed with what and like to your point, Dan, with COVID and everything, people are more indoors or isolated now, and all they can really do is go outside and try to enjoy themselves. And they're looking up now. They're looking up and they're seeing that, my gosh, there's a lot out there than just what we thought,
Astronomy is really popular right now.
It is.
Yeah,
really.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I think I was telling you, Tom, this afternoon, I haven't seen anything like this since like the late 80s, or the early 90s. I mean, I'm talking about the first Cosmos when it was Carl Sagan, when I was taking on VHS, So,
I think about all the things you could be filling your head with right now. If you want to go out and fill your head with astronomy,
absolutely,
bring it
for it.
Yeah.
The world, start taking pictures, and we've spoken about it on the show before. You can start with your iPhone. I mean, the iPhone's taking great pictures. You throw it on the back of the telescope and just take some pictures.
Yeah, that's where it started for me, man. That's where it gets expensive. Once you hold that iPhone up there and you get that shot of the moon where it's just barely plotted.
And yeah, you spent about 35 minutes trying to get you're trying to get it in the
I think Tom froze.
Yep.
Yeah, Tom froze.
Tom's back, I think.
Yeah, I still see his image, but it's frozen.
It's frozen.
And
I'll hop out and join back in.
No, I think you're back.
Okay, you're back.
Oh, no, I guess he didn't hear us.
Yeah, you'll hop back in.
He'll jump back in. But so Eric, definitely, to your point, I mean, just sit there and just take pictures and then you get the bug, and then you get and Tom is back.
Yeah, Tom's back. And that's it. And then you get this bug, and we were talking about, trying to get, our bios for the website. you know, and getting that on.
What are you saying?
You know, no, but it just made me. But it all of a sudden, I was on my computer, and all of a sudden, I found my very first light that I ever took.
Oh,
And,
really?
yeah, and this was like I say, this was in in 2018, and it just amazes me how much I've progressed just to look at that. You know,
I don't think I can find my first lights because it's probably stuck on a 35mm reel somewhere on my Multa Maxim. You know, I was taking pictures of the moon, I think, and I had to send it to the 1 hour photo that took 3 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And I got the photos back, and it turned out I was all out of focus, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Now, Tom, you've mentioned a few things. So, what is the biggest thing right now that you're seeing, you know, from Primaluce that's coming, you know, that we should really be on the lookout for? You know, what's the big thing that, you know, going to grab everybody?
Come on, give us a leak.
Yeah, I mean, some things I can talk about, some things I can't. So,
we're losing.
He did that on purpose.
is going to be is a big deal for us. Am I glitching?
Yeah, you're glitching.
Let me
Yeah, I think we.
Hey, is that top left alive? Is that what you did?
The top center is the live feed.
Well, the 3-shot right now.
The 3 shots live, yes.
Oh, okay, that's cool. All right.
He said his wife must be streaming Netflix. Okay. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
there we go.
am I frozen here, guys?
Well, you're not frozen.
I could see you, but I can't hear you.
Okay.
Now I got you.
Well, I won't move around very much. Hopefully, it won't like glitch. Okay. Yeah, no, the thing I can talk about will be the Arco. The Arco is going to be a big deal for us. And once it comes out and it does, it's a rotator, but the resolution of this thing is incredibly fine. It's going to device, and I see notice this device that coming in at the price point it's going to come at, and the size and ease of use, I think, is going to be big. So especially, yeah. So once you know, it has to be mated with either an Asato or a Sesto Senso, because the logic for the rotator built into the focuser. But it's such a simple, quick little interconnect, one tiny little cable from the focuser to the rotator, and then one cable from the focuser to the computer. So it's going to be super elegant.
Yeah, it's going to be really
It'll be awesome.
I can't wait for the public to see it. Yeah. Once we can fully talk about it, it's going to blow your mind.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it in action, and because there's nothing that's like totally, I guess, integrated. The only other thing that would probably even compete with that would be the Nightcrawler, but I mean, the way you got the rotator and the focuser kind of integrated together like that.
Right. Now, if someone now, if someone was interested in just getting started with your products, say take the Eagle, what is the good entry level, if they did to get started, just to start getting familiar with the Eagle, and say if they've got a cool camera, somebody like me, I got a cool camera, and I want to try out the first thing. What would you recommend?
Well, so if you have a cool camera, the way to go would be with
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fine.
Yeah.
But he's out again.
Yeah, no, it's the explosions.
Moab,
Yeah, no. It's 29 Palms just going nuts over there.
But yeah, so the Eagle, I mean, for you, I mean, you got everything that you need already. And
Yeah, I know. But say a guy like you just getting started, you know, who's sorry, I think we got Tom back now. Okay, no problem.
You can change the name on this thing.
That's fine.
It's got to be the right capitals, lowercases, everything.
Yeah.
And we got audio yet or no? Okay.
Oh man, we're gonna hope for the best. Yeah, they don't like this much information happening. No, what I was saying is if you have a cool camera, I would recommend the Eagle, just because most cooled cameras come from several different manufacturers. There's different accessories that you're probably going to want to mate to. There's different levels of Eagle. They vary on amounts of memory and storage and microprocessor. So you can get into for well under $1,000, and it might lack the extreme processing power that the more expensive models use, but they're still very functional. If you have a DSLR, we actually have a little Eagle called the Eagle Core. Yep. And it doesn't run Windows. It is more like a little automated intervalometer for digital cameras like Nikon and Canon DSLRs. Okay. That can run the full over USB run exposure controls and everything. Can run the Cessna or a Sato focuser. So you can have a little automated one-shot color astrophotography rig using the Eagle Core.
Nice.
Man.
And so you got 3 models still of the Eagle out, or is it only 2?
The Eagle, the S and the Pro.
Okay, so you got the S and the Pro. No more Q, right? The Q's gone.
No, the Q's gone.
All right.
There's just a base Eagle, and then the Eagle S and the Eagle Pro.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought I said number 3 of the Eagle. I got number 9 of the Eagle 3.
Oh yeah.
Cool. I love that thing. That thing is like totally. I told you, it transformed the way I do imaging. You know, it's just incredible the way everything is packed so well that you can just use it for any piece of software you want. Got to get gigabit connection.
Let's see if he comes back.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, I said it before. I say it again. I think the Eagle is, if you're not a brand stuck with ZWO, and you're doing the ASIR Pro, the Eagle is a lot more. It gives you a lot more adaptability to do a lot more different things and use a lot more different types of products. Yeah. So I have my Moonlight focuser, not in the AF, although I do have an EAF on another setup. I have what else do I got? I got a ZWO camera. I got an S-Big camera. And this is all working all at the same time.
Right.
So it makes it a lot more easy because everything's done by Windows. It's not a Raspberry Pi. It's nothing like that. It's run by Windows, which makes it a lot more versatile. Even though a lot of people hate Windows, and me included. But for astronomy gear, Windows is the way to go right now because a lot of the gear runs on it, and it's getting better with Mac. But Windows is the way to go right now and has been the way to go for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a stability thing, and that's one of the things Tom and I were kind of talking about yesterday when we were doing some testing to see that we had Link or not. Obviously, we didn't do a very good job, but one of the things he was discussing is coming from the Apple platform. He fought like crazy trying to be able to connect, and that was one of the things that he really struggled with, and that's where his transition over to using Windows for these things and now having the Eagle platform made things considerably more conducive for him, and it became fairly easy for him, even coming from the Apple environment, to be able to service this for the customer base over here. So it's kind of interesting, some of the conversation we were able to have during the 10-15 minutes we did some testing at the hotel last night.
But it's also kind of cool, to have an opportunity to be an imager, and love this hobby, and then also have an opportunity to work with a company.
Absolutely.
This. There he is. There's Tom.
I got to get him put back in all the shots, though, so stand by.
That's right. But but I was just saying it's almost like a dream come true, because how they always say, if you're doing what you love, you never work a day in your life. This is kind of like almost that deal,
I know. That's why I work in an Astro shop one day a week, because it's what I like to do. It keeps me sane. It breaks up the monotony, and I'm able to help other people that either need the help or maybe just don't need the help, but just want to bounce questions back and forth of somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's not saying that I know what I'm doing. Sometimes I really don't, but
No. So do we have Tom back?
Yep.
Am I back?
Yeah, see him moving. It's all good.
There you go. It's like doing a wave on us now.
Yeah.
See you on this class.
So
I did run through my house, and the network police, I just shut off a bunch of people in my house.
Need more bandwidth.
We need more bandwidth. Scotty,
I have a good line, man. I have a good line.
I was just so happy I got the new Verizon router on here, and it kicks butt. I got wireless 3 houses down.
Yeah, normally I'm like super solid. I don't know what's going on.
That's okay.
Well, you're solid now, so
connection, but
yeah, you're good now. So what's on horizon for you? As far as imaging, what projects are you going to be working on, or have you been working on? I know it's kind of hard right now with the fires and everything, and probably but before
I'm in the one part of California that's still clear, and I feel a little guilty about it. A lot of my friends are really suffering right now to the north of me, but I wish I could take more advantage of it. I've been super busy. I did get out and I finished shooting some data on the Elephant Trunk Nebula. I'm gonna start processing that, and I've been taking some PixInsight training with Dr. Ron Breaker.
Yeah, Breaker, yeah.
The famous PixInsight doctor. And so he's been very helpful in my processing. So I've been learning a lot. So I need to shoot more data so I have more ammo for that.
Yeah, I actually took lessons from Ron. I took like 3 or 4 lessons from him, and the way he does it and the way he walks you through things, it's really a treat when you do it with him. It's really cool.
I click with his style. It's really good.
Yep, he's a good guy. He's he's watching now. He said hi, by the way.
I actually just had a class with him. It was his entry level class with him and Mr. Who is it? Warren Keller. And
Warren Keller, yeah,
the Masters of PixInsight class. It was it's a 2-hour basically class, GoToMeeting type or Zoom class, and just learning the very getting started with the very basic workflow, it blew my mind. Just getting started with very few steps. So,
Watching them work is super helpful to someone who's never really seen it.
yeah.
Absolutely. And
We're big.
I've played around with
Ron,
the
Ron shoots with an Eagle for us. He's an Eagle tester user.
Nice.
Oh yeah. He actually put on the YouTube chat. He's like, he's got 2 rigs running with an Eagle 3 and 2 focuses, 2 scopes, two of everything he's got running.
Yeah. He whips his Eagle like a $20 mule, basically.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know,
Yeah, I have
beta
to send him a
testers.
power supply actually tomorrow morning.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah. Love my Ron.
Yeah, Ron's a good guy.
Yeah, Ron's a great
Yeah,
guy.
other than that, I've been doing a lot of hardware testing. I'm kind of, I'm going to be changing mounts here in the next month and a half or so. So I've been doing some testing on a loaner mount from Hobum, which has been fun. And that's kind of been taking up some of my time. But
You got
The Crux.
yeah, the Crux 170 is what I'm testing.
Oh, that is a wow. That is a wow. That is an awesome mount. I mean,
yeah.
From what I've seen pictures of it, and I was telling I think I even told you, Dan, at one point. I was like, when I retire, that'll probably be one of the mounts I look at.
Yeah, you said that like 2 weeks ago. You said that.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I was like, either like the 170 or the 200, because of those harmonic, the harmonic drive gears. I was like, no backlash.
Yeah, no, nothing. You don't have to worry about anything.
It's light.
Yeah, I'm looking to kind of consolidate. So the Hobum is lighter than my lightest mount, and it slews like 40% more weight than my biggest mount. So they're at that point. So I'm looking to kind of simplify and cut down on the amount of gear I have here.
What mounts were you using before you got the test on the Hobum Crux?
So I have 2 Avalons. I have the M0, which is my little portable one. That's actually set up out back right now. I can show you that later. And then I have the M1, which is a little bit larger. It kind of tops out maybe around 38 pounds or so if you balance it nice. But yeah, the Hobum slews like 52 something pounds. 53.
It's just insane.
And it'll do 35 of those pounds without a counterweight. You don't need any counterweight.
Wow, that's
Crazy.
incredible.
That's what I was hearing is like, you can slew, probably better than almost, what did you say, like 30 pounds or is it like 30, 35 pounds without the counterweight?
Yeah, without a weight.
Yeah, that's just insane.
No counterweight on there. I just put my scope on. And there's like no like balancing, because there's no clutch. You don't have a clutch to release because the gear is always engaged. So there's no like balancing. So you just put your scope on there and turn it on. It was so foreign the first time I did it. I'm like, well, I guess my camera's heavy. I'll slide it forward. Why not?
Me too.
Yeah. Here, I have it. Let me grab it.
Okay.
Rex said he uses the Eagle 3 to connect to this live channel. Okay.
Yeah, so
there it is. Wow.
That itty bitty thing?
yeah, this thing slews 52 pounds.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I can't believe how little and light that is. I can't believe that. That's incredible. I'm putting like a 16-inch Schmidt on that. I can't.
No, and that's the crazy thing is that 52 pounds on that's basically equivalent of like, what I used to have, I had the CGX, and that weighed 50 pounds on itself.
Oh, yeah.
The
Celestron mounts, I started out with my big mount was, I had a CGEM DX from Celestron. And I'm convinced that they smelt down World War II battleships to make those tripods. I couldn't lift that thing anymore. It was killing me. It was absolutely killing me. So I had.
I think his kids are playing.
I think his kids are, I think they're streaming
playing video games again.
Yeah, they're on Xbox again. But no, I mean, I'm sure Tom will come back. Yeah, but that's just insane.
Yeah. I mean,
I think we got you, Tom.
Yep,
we got your back.
Am I all right?
Yeah, I think you're coming back.
Your audio's still breaking up, though.
All right, I'm looking for there.
I'm gonna switch to the 3-shot while we suss it out.
But I guess just looking at that, I was always curious on how it looked. But looking at the Crux 170, gosh, that's small. And
I saw his mount set up on Facebook, and it didn't look that small. But then when he takes the head out and just he's like holding it like a paper airplane.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just like, here it is.
This food is over 50 pounds.
Well,
I hear you. Oh, you're coming in and out there, Tom. Oh.
Do audio maybe for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There we go.
You want to do audio? Okay,
Well, I mean, it's killing me.
yeah.
We're back now. I shut more things off, but I'm pretty much the only one taking bandwidth.
Right.
Wow.
It's got to be something. Maybe something that's with California.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows?
Sorry about that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to putting that mount through its paces. I'm actually waiting for a custom all black version of it. They're making 10 all black versions, and I'm gonna get one of them.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's gonna be cool looking.
It pays to know somebody, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
guess so.
one of the problems is that when I take the Avalons to trade shows and things, is that they're red and they're Italian, and everyone thinks we make them. And I mean, I absolutely love those mounts, but I'm a little tired of explaining the difference. And I just don't want it when I go to a trade show. I have to explain it all the time.
You making those?
How much do you guys get for the mount? I'm like, well, you'll have to ask them. I don't know.
They're right in the next booth. Right over there. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, we're friends. I absolutely love that company, and their engineering is wonderful. And walking away from the performance of those mounts, I mean, like if I'm guiding above 0.4 arc seconds of error, I'm like offended. I have to go fix it. Because typically I'll guide, like last night I was guiding at 0.29, pretty stable, like
nice,
barely above sea level in my backyard in the city. So I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's insane.
Got the pooch out. But that's insane, because even now I've got a CEM 60, and I thought that this, and I'm in love with this mount. Because compared to my CGX, I was just getting maybe good guiding for me was just over an arc second, maybe 1 to like maybe 1.5 arc second RMS error. Now I'm averaging between 0.5 and 0.6. Yeah, and I'm on top of the world. But now you're talking 0.2. I'm like, something's not right.
My record on the M1 on top of Choose Ridge in north central California is about 5,000 feet elevation. The scene was insane, and I was guiding at 0.08 arc seconds of error on the I thought it was a pixel, but the star did move one time.
Oh,
but I can dither it. So
yeah.
Yeah, you'll be all right. Don't worry about it. You'll be
Yeah,
fine.
you're fine.
yeah, I mean, it's hard to walk away from performance like that.
Sure.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's sad, but I need the change.
Yeah.
And the Hovum it'll live up to the challenge. Absolutely. That thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just telling you guys, it's like, that'll be when I move to New Mexico, and I
Yeah, exactly. You build the observatory.
when I build my observatory, I'm getting the Hovum.
This was actually such an easy sell for my wife finally, because I'm like, I'm trading in 2 mounts.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Done.
Thank you.
There it is.
Hey Dan, there you go.
When she's on board, it's like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so that one had the full blessing of the boss.
That's awesome.
Well, if you need somebody to take care of one of those M series for you.
Yeah, you never know.
I've got some storage space.
I'm gonna dump.
We're going to fund the new one, so you'll have to pay to play.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dump this. Even though I don't want to make it seem like I'm making a plug, but Camera Concepts just became an Avalon dealer today. So
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, you're welcome to contact me if you have questions, because I'm a fan.
You're on my speed dial.
I'm a huge fan. Honestly, they do so many things really brilliantly. I think you're going to have some happy customers.
I just can't wait to try one. I just can't wait to test one out and grab one and just give me one. Give me 2 clear nights in New York in a row, please.
Yeah, man.
And it's going to be a great treat, I think.
Dan, you just have to send it to me to do the testing, because I've almost always got clear nights now, because monsoon season's almost over.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, New York's the land of the cloudy skies. I mean, it's almost as bad as the UK. But
yeah, I don't know if I can handle it out there. I couldn't do it.
Nah, I don't know how. I talk to Tim Cowell all the time, and he's like, I don't know how he does it at all.
Yeah, UK astronomers, man, they suffer. They earn every photon they get.
Yep, it's just so bad. It's so bad being on that little island, in the middle of, wherever they are. I don't even know where they are. But
Yeah, I grew up in Phoenix, like pretty close to where Jason is, and I've only really known sunshine most of my life. I don't think I could handle a move to like Seattle or the UK or anything like that.
Well, and that's the thing. So I grew up in Metro Detroit, so much like what the rest of the guys have, it was cloudy 6 months out of the year, and if you got peaks of sun, it was just kind of filtered sun. So the move out to Arizona for me was great, and not necessarily for the Astro portion of it, but it has become a great benefit. So the guys hate me for it. They're always giving me crap.
Use the most of it.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah, you're down there too. You said by Mount Lemmon. Or
I have been down there. I'm actually out in East Mesa, so I'm borderline Apache Junction.
Okay. Yeah, you're not far from some dark stuff.
Yeah, so I'm Portal 6 in my backyard, and if I go into Queens Valley, it's a Portal 4.
Nice. My brother.
We all hate Jason, by the way.
Yeah, send the Avalon to Jason, man.
Hey, Jason, that may happen. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm all for it. I got a backyard, and after the second week of September, I'll be home for a while.
Because it's about a 99.9% chance that you'll probably have a lot more clearer skies than I do. So, or Eric, for that matter.
Yep.
So I mean, that's why I loved when I was in Savannah for like I guess about 2 years for work, and I loved being in that. Right near there's the Peach State Stargaze, and there's also Deer Lake Astronomy Village down there. And let me tell you, some of the skies down. I mean, a lot of people don't even go out to do stuff outreach, because you could just go right in your backyard, because your backyard literally is like Portal 5 in the suburbs of Savannah. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I have to live in the suburbs. I have to be able to get out quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Can't do the Manhattan thing. I can't.
No. I enjoy. Right now. I'm happy with my Portal 5 skies. You know, I can't complain too much. You know, still trying to find that perfect dark side, but I'm still good.
What's your favorite rig, Eric?
Right now, I am enjoying my Rasa.
Oh yeah.
I'm enjoying my Rasa 8 immensely. I have it on my CEM 60, and I'm loving every minute of it. And I just finished up, and I also have William Optics refractor. So I just took down my 126 millimeter where I imaged the Tulip Nebula. And and it was my first chance to use that new L Extreme. And because I do one shot color.
Mhm.
So using that L Extreme has been insane. that filter is just nuts, but that's just me. And but it's been
There's a lot of people saying the same thing. That filter is awesome, and I can't wait to try that as well.
it's just I've lost my mind with this filter because it works great with the Rasa. I was shocked because they always talk about how the narrow band pass, how the shifting, the light with using a high speed.
Yeah, it's tough at that speed. Filters are very difficult to deal with on a.
Yep.
And they are. And this is at 7 nanometers band pass with HA and O3. And so they got rid of H beta. Now they're just focused on HA and O3. And it took me quite a while just to even plate solve because it was so tight.
Yeah.
But when you get it, and it is awesome. But
that's cool.
Yeah, but my favorite rig right now, that's my favorite right now. But I've also been keeping an eye on. Eventually, I'd like to get an RC, for Galaxy season, or just getting something with more, with a more narrow focal, field of view. So I can really get in there because I enjoyed, looking and imaging the Eagle Nebula when I had the chance.
Uh-huh.
I really want to get in there. I really want to get into the nebulae, and I really want to get into those clouds and do what I can, in the clouds. But no, so right now that's my favorite rig right now. It's just a Rasa,
Yeah, my big rig. I have an 11-inch Edge. I need to get that thing out. It's been a long time since I've had it out.
So you're getting really deep in there.
Yeah, I think once the Hobum's here and I get that thing pretty well situated, the 11's coming out.
There you go.
Nice.
We're gonna dance.
There you go. I'm really curious. You got to let us know because I was kind of I'm looking at that and it's got the hand controller. I think it's the Titan controller.
A little control box. All the electronics are down, kind of out of the mount.
Okay. I'm really curious on how it all works.
Yeah, the hand controller isn't necessarily the most convenient part of the whole equation.
Yeah.
I have a little thing set up on my tripod where I can just kind of stick it with Velcro right there and not deal with it.
I
do it over the computer. I don't really need to touch it too much. Just like when I first do the alignment where I tell it that I'm looking east.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I don't really have to touch it. So
right. And that's what I've kind of found with the iOptron right now is with me running it with the ASIR. And I'm sure, I'll probably do the same thing with the, with CGP, SGP, and whatever else. Plate solving. Once you start plate solving, you're off and running. All you do is just get a good polar alignment, and then you're good. And then you're off and going. And then you can plate
I only just recently got plate solving kind of figured out, and both your videos I've watched are great. And
thank you.
Yeah. And I have a really good friend up in the Bay Area who's suffering from smoky skies named Gautier Vasseur. And Gautier, he's awesome. So he's like my plate solving sensei. we have a lot of the same gear, so he knows he can just like transfer settings over, and he's like, yep.
There you go.
Well, that's gonna be nice.
That's my boy. I would be way far behind if it wasn't for him.
Yeah, I mean, we all have somebody like that. We all have somebody that we kind of our mentor, or we're all a mentee to somebody, I think. So
yeah. Well, now Dan, we talked before, and you had mentioned that some of your customers or viewers had some questions about like the Echo and maybe some questions about our products.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Echo, you and I spoke a little bit about it, I guess a couple days ago, regarding the lack of some documentation on some of the settings, and this was before the 3.3 came out, where you knocked off some of the settings for the Echo. But if you could just go over the Delta settings of the Echo and any other thing that you can put a finger on that you kind of got to pay attention to while using it.
Sure. Yeah, well, first off, if you're an Eagle owner and you don't have an Echo, and you live in a climate where you're challenged by moisture, you should probably look into getting one. They're not that expensive, and they're super helpful they're basically a thermostat for your telescope. It's like a Sentry for dew. You don't have to monitor it or constantly turn your dew heaters on max so that you don't dew up and kill your battery early. This thing will constantly monitor the temperature and the humidity and calculate the dew point. And it will start to apply the heat out the variable 12-volt port of the Eagle automatically. So in order to do that, it's a simple little device about the size of maybe like a book of matches or something, a little box of matches. And it has a simple USB plug, one plug that goes to the Eagle, and a thermal probe. And then basically all you have to do is equalize the temperature the one time between the Echo and the thermal probe. You plug the probe in and let it hang free in the air somewhere in the telescope, near the telescope, but not touching it. It calibrate, and then you'll get agreement between the probe. Oh yeah, he's got one right there. You'll get agreement between the probe and the Echo unit, and then at that point you just shove that thing up underneath your dew strip, and it'll constantly monitor the temperature of the end of your telescope. You can also have thermal probes on your focuser for ambient temperature if you want to automate that in Sequence Generator Pro, like alter your focus based on temperature change. But yeah, the Echo, once you have that set, it's kind of fire and forget. You won't needlessly kill your battery just running dew heaters. And then there's really only one setting in the Eagle Manager under the advanced settings, and it's kind of a Delta T setting. You can, I think the default is 1.0.
Yep.
You can lower that number to have it start earlier if you have a larger telescope, like a scope with more mass, like a large collector plate, like an SCT or something, or a larger refractor that might need a head start warming up. You can alter that number and trend it down a little bit. It'll start earlier, but that's really all you have to adjust. It does the rest of the work.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome. I mean, in New York, there's dew all over the place. I mean, I wake up in the morning and I'm wicking the dew off the scope. But
hopefully not off your lens though.
Yeah, hopefully not.
No, not with this. This is awesome, and I just have a question now. You got what spaces for 1, 2, 3 different types, because you got 3 different outputs on the Eagle for the variable 12-volt. But is there going to be a way to maybe just use one temperature probe instead of all 3 for 3 different dew? I mean, where the temperature is, I mean, you're dealing with different size apertures, I think, but where the temperature is going to vary much from part of the telescope.
multiple dew bands based on one temperature reading.
Correct.
Yeah, I've discussed that same thing. So hopefully that's in the works.
Okay.
Yeah, we should be able to do that. I've mentioned it before, where it'd be nice to be able to turn on a second band based on that trigger. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We've had
you lose a wire, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but I mean, how much is the temperature really gonna?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and we're all about
one
removing
foot.
wires. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That would be a good idea. But like you said, I mean, it's really a small piece of equipment.
Yeah, I
mean,
thought it was much bigger just looking at it in pictures when I finally got it.
It looks huge.
Yeah.
It looks huge. And I'm sitting there, and it goes.
Yeah, they need just a little tiny product, like way in the background.
He's having like a little disclaimer. This is not actual size.
Yeah, this is like 4 times magnification.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's
is bigger than the Echo. You know. So.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so that's the Echo. Any other questions you guys might have had? I know, like, we just recently upgraded the Eagle Manager to Eagle version 3.3. So if there's Eagle users out there that haven't updated their Eagle Manager, it's a good update. Go for it.
Now, with the exception of the obvious update that we just spoke about with the Echo, what other updates are in the new 0.3 as opposed to 0.2?
There were networking fixes, and there's just new, like, support for all the new products that have come out in the meantime, and some UI fixes. So
okay, I'm gonna look online and see if there's any questions.
There's quite a lot of chat tonight, which is good.
The other thing too I can do is just kind of some of your users or some of your viewers, I should say, might not have seen an Eagle or know really what they are or how they work. I've got my telescope set up in the backyard, and I can do a connection.
Oh yeah, why don't we do that?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Blast my network.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the Eagle. This is actually one of my older. This is an Eagle 2, but they look pretty similar to this day.
Okay.
Machined aluminum case, has an Intel computer inside, has 8 USB ports, so it has 4 USB 2.
Nice.
Why did I lose this audio?
Higher voltage, yeah. And what?
I lost Tom's audio.
Okay.
Hey, Tom, I lost your audio completely, bud.
Oh, I hear him.
I hear him.
You're hearing him? Okay. For some reason, I'm not hearing him.
Nope. No.
I'll play that.
I hear you. So let me ask you this: the operating system. Let me ask you this: now, what version of Windows does it run? Windows 10. Okay, is it like a particular version of Windows 10? Just with Enterprise. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like TSC or.
Okay. Sure.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Yep, 4.8.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really solid. I the only time that I ever drop out, if at all, is when I move around the house, and that's not an Eagle problem. That's my network problem.
Right. Really? Still no audio from Tom. No audio. No audio here.
Uh,
Okay.
Tom, did you hit your mute button by accident?
No, no.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it's you, Tom.
Everyone's blaming it on you, Jason. Mark said, "What'd you do?"
Yeah. No audio from Jason either. Still no audio. Okay. Yep, that's pretty much it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Oh, you have some glitches. That's what happens when you're running from a hotel.
Yeah.
In a hotel.
Actually, yeah, I can't blame it on the hotel this time.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Tarek saying, "Oh, you better go buy a better microphone."
Trip's like going on phone call of silence.
Dark cone of silence. Yeah, because Mark's saying, me and
No audio from Jason either.
yeah, but yeah, from Jason and Tom,
There you
you
go.
go.
That's a picture from the new Dune movie.
Anyone?
Bueller?
Exactly.
It says I have audio and I'm seeing him. You guys are hearing me on the stream. Yes, no?
Well, I got Jason
Yeah,
on.
I hear you.
Yeah, I heard you on the stream. Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, the weird thing is I'm not hearing the...
Okay, they hear Jason now.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I hear Jason. I'm listening to YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not hearing Tom other than through Rendezvous.
I'm just at Astro Gear to buy audio stuff, Tarek said.
What?
Tarek was saying, time to sell Astro Gear and buy audio.
Oh, no, Tarek, would you stop?
He's loaded. He can send us the equipment that he wants us to use.
Tarek was getting on my case the other day, asking about that list of I've been looking for a list of objects by emission type for the longest time, and he's like, I can't believe you're asking that question. You should be taken off the astronomy community forever or something. It's like, what are you talking about, man?
Let's see. Anything yet, guys? Can anybody hear Tom yet?
I can hear you fine. No,
I'm hearing it on Rendezvous, but I'm not hearing it in the stream. Try again, Tom. Nope. Try again, Tom.
no.
Not yet.
What you want to try? You want to try just going back here?
Well, so the thing is I'm looking at the shot with the 4 up, which is what we have up right now.
Right, and all the audio is checked.
Yep. So going back to 4 up. Yep. What about now, Tom? Nope. See if I can hear it on the preview side.
Nope. See your lips moving. Let's see.
Oh, now I got you. That was weird. Can you guys in the stream hear him? Tom, just count it.
guys history here. Tom, just got it. Guys history here. Tom, just got it. Guys history here. Tom, just got it.
No.
Guys history here.
That is so weird.
Gotta love technology.
So I guess I'm just never allowed to leave.
Gotta love it. Technology. I gotta love it. Yeah, let's mime. Let's just mime the
Yeah, just pantomime.
the pantomime. It's just mime the. Yeah,
Mine
that's maybe a good
is
idea.
tiny podcast here. May as well show us the video.
Yeah, well, his video's up.
Yeah, no, yeah. Let's see. George Lutch, it's just like doing AP work. Always a problem to figure out. Mark, someone hit the mute button.
Well, he went outside and we lost his connection anyways.
Yeah. He's probably switching over to another network. But yeah, so anyway, so I just happened to bring my eagle out, and this is the mess of my eagle while it's kind of hanging out. But as Tom was saying, it's got your 4 USB 2.0, and you got 1, 2, and 3, 4 3.0s. And then you got your HDMI's out, you got an internet in, you got your 3 variable 12 volts, and that's it. You know, and it runs on a Windows 10 computer. This is the Pro version. This is the Windows 3 Pro version, and I love it. I think it's great. It's probably the best, you know, whatever $2,000 I put into it. But I mean, it's awesome, and I think we got Tom back.
Yep. Do we have you now, Tom?
I hope so.
There
Can
we
you
go.
hear me?
Yeah.
Is
I'm
that
still
audio?
spinning.
I'm hearing him on the stream, so hopefully we
I
got it now.
I'm still spinning on my connection. Oh, all right. Never mind. I got it.
Yeah, I hear you
We
on the
got you
screen
now.
too.
Cool.
All right, so you're good.
All right.
So you want me to take
Am
you
I on
full
the
and you can
screen
walk
now?
you through? Yep. So let me take you up full screen so you can
Do your thing.
do your thing. It's all you, bud. And of course, as soon as I go to that shot, I lose him. Let me try
No,
this.
stop.
Let's try that. Go ahead and talk, Tom.
I can hear you.
I had him for a half second.
I got it. I hear you on the screen. Cool. All right, good.
So you want me to tell me?
Yeah, we can see what Tom's doing, but I can't hear him all of a sudden again.
No, stop.
Go ahead and talk. For a half second. Cool. All right. Good.
I'm gonna see if I can get him to reconnect real quick via text.
Okay.
All right. Having some technical difficulties.
It's been a fun exercise.
Yeah. And, you know. So, yeah, so I just finished up doing a lot of Pelican Nebula, so I'm hoping to kind of start processing that this week, since we're going to have that nice little what's ever left over of that Hurricane Laura.
Hurricane Laura, yeah.
You know, is coming up. So I know that I think right about now, I think Galveston's getting slammed. And it's supposed to make a nice quick right turn and come our way. And you know, yeah, it's going to be south of you, I think, Eric.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's going to hit all the way across the middle, you know, right through and right up into Long Island again. So we'll see what happens when it comes here.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that it went to Category 4 this morning.
Yeah, so I saw as well.
The Texas coast.
Tom, where you at? Still daylight? Yes, Tom is in California. He's right outside of San Jose. Eddie said, welcome back. Maybe not. Can anyone hear Tom? Nope. We'll go out quick to bring breakfast to my daughters. Hope to catch you before the end from Trek. There goes the Wi-Fi. Minus Astronomy Podcast. Yeah, we got a lot of people watching tonight, so that's good.
Yeah.
So is anyone imaging tonight or no?
Yeah, I'm actually imaging. I just ran out to take the focusing mask off really quick.
Nice.
Imaging the Lion Nebula.
The Lion?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. I think the next thing I'm gonna go for next, probably, I'm gonna get some more data on the Veiling Pickering's triangle.
Okay.
So I already have data from last year with the same scope. So now that I'm able to kind of put it on a few this year.
Tom's trying to get back in, but Chrome's giving him a fit and it's just giving him a spinning wheel.
You guys narrowbanding. I'm doing a lot of narrowband from Long Island because from my house, it's pretty much impossible to do RGB unless it's pretty much impossible to do RGB from Long Island. you know. And do we have Tom back? Tom?
Almost. I'm just getting ready to drop him back into his looks here real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
How you doing, Tom? Can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you again. All right. Isn't this fun?
Well, we'll give this our best shot, I guess.
Yep.
All right. So we could try and demo this again. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to add one more shot here and see if I can't get it in this one shot.
Yeah. Technical difficulties, definitely. More technical
That's what happens when you do a live show. You always get these tough technical difficulties.
All right, so Tom's up full.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
All right. So I'm out in my backyard now. And there's the M0. We can try and demo this again. And so this is my portable rig. I don't know, weighs probably maybe about 12 pounds or so, the mount head and whatnot. It's pretty light. Doesn't take much counterweight.
And what's the payload capacity?
It's pretty light, under 20 pounds. I'm I'm pretty close to. I'm going to be upsetting it if I get it much heavier beyond this, I think.
Okay.
But it's great. It really just packs up into 2 small cases, and I can run it up the mountain, and it's super portable. But I'm going to be even more portable going forward, I think. But yeah, so this is basically what I plop down. This is there's one wire running to the ground, and that powers the whole thing. So that wire runs up to the Eagle up there.
Okay.
And then the Eagle handles all the power distribution for all my devices. So it'll power my camera, it then powers my focuser, powers my mount, and all of that. So I can actually, let's share that user interface here.
Now, Tim was asking, Tom, do you keep it set up or do you break it down? Do you break it all down often?
So yes, I'll leave it set up for multiple nights.
Okay.
But I don't just leave it out. I've maybe 2 or 3 nights in a row, I'll set it up. Like if I know the gardener's going to come by, I'll tear it down. I don't want it out there.
Sure.
But yeah, so this is the user interface, and it kind of just represents the Eagle and all of its ports. So this is the 12-volt in that I have hooked up right now. Shows that I'm running on 12-volt, good healthy 12.9 volts there. So that's my AC adapter. These are the 4 ports I've got. So here I can actually turn my mount on. So I just powered up my mount. I can power up my camera and power up my focuser.
Okay.
And this one I have set up for the mount that I'm testing, so I won't use that tonight. But I don't really name all my USB ports or anything, because I just plug them into whatever available port there is. Typically, I don't get them in the same one every time, and it doesn't really matter.
Sure.
So I don't name them, and I only use one of my dew heater bands, so it doesn't really change. It's always on 5, so I don't really name it. But my Echo is now turned on. It's live. It's monitoring the temperature. It's showing that it's 23.4 degrees Celsius out right now. And the dew point's well below that. So it's nice and clear out right now, which is great.
Yep.
Now I can go, and if I want, I can launch my Sequence Generator Pro and go and connect to my gear if I want.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. This is pretty slick. Now we had a couple questions here. One was, is there anything that in the works to change the temperature from showing Celsius to Fahrenheit, or maybe a future upgrade?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I lost his audio again.
Nice.
Yeah. What else we got? Audio lost again?
I don't know. Yeah, Mark was also saying, I wish the Eagle came with power cables. I had to buy them a la carte. Well,
Mhm.
yep. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it
Yeah. So
looks like I lost Tom's audio again somehow.
sure. Yeah, I picked up the AC adapter from Primalucelab, and it's I mean, at the beginning when I first was trying to power, I tried and power it with a power tank for the Eagle 3 Pro, and it didn't like it so much. Yeah, no, it definitely sucked in too much power. It would power up, and then it would just all of a sudden it would go blank. Yep. Yes. And this time I lost your audio again. I don't know what's going on with the audio.
I don't know what's going on with audio, to be honest. This is nuts.
Uh,
Let's try that. Nope.
I'm not sure why.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is because it's showing I have audio and I hear it in Rendezvous, but it's not coming through even with all the audio turned on.
okay. Well, I don't know. So maybe next time we try Zoom.
Next time we'll do a Zoom meeting.
That's all I can think of.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it could be YouTube. Who
The weird
knows?
thing is I have you in preview. As soon as I take it live, I lose his audio.
Oh.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, we've had plenty of guests before, and audio hasn't been dropping like this. I'm not saying it's you, but I'm just saying it just seems.
No,
I gotta blame it on the hotel.
well, and the fact I'm running on a laptop and
Yeah.
I'm, this isn't the first. This is the first time that I've ran the show
Yeah. Fair
remotely.
enough.
It just sucks. I feel bad, Tom.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Tom, you open to that, right? So why don't we hook up during the week and figure out another day where we can kind of do it right because oh yeah, it's beautiful for you. I mean, right now it's 10:41 and cloudy in New York, so so now Jason, you're off the hook. We now hate Tom now. So
Oh. Sorry, Tom. Now Tom's never going to talk to me.
There it is. Yeah.
The moon there,
Yeah.
moonshot. All right, so Tom, why don't we talk during the week and we'll figure it out, and we'll get another date going. So I apologize about this. This is
Awesome.
yeah. No, once Jason gets back to his house, and to his normal rig, I think we'll be fine. It's not gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
But
Thank you, Tom.
all
My
right.
apologies, bud.
Yeah. Thanks, Tom. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for making the time, Tom. I appreciate it. All right.
See
Have a
ya.
good one. All right.
Well,
All right,
that was
well,
not how I expected tonight to go.
You know what, guys, guys and girls out there that are watching the show and talking about audio, I just want to apologize about that. We are kind of doing something new here and unexpected, but we didn't want to cancel the show, but we wanted to get Tom on because this is something that's planned for a while. So we're gonna invite Tom again. I know you probably heard one side of the conversation, but Tom is down for doing it again to get the information out to us, and maybe he'll have something new the next time he comes on. Maybe, Eric,
Yeah. Mark asks, so what was the answer to the temperature question? Yeah. Tom did say that they are working on that in the future update there, Mark. So.
Oh yeah, no, they didn't hear that. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna put Fahrenheit on the Echo.
Yeah, they are going to put Fahrenheit on the Echo, so that's coming out in the future update because he was
Yeah,
asking.
what he didn't answer is I'm not sure if that's going to be like an Eagle Manager 3.4 or if it's actually just a firmware of the Echo. But we'll get an answer to that. We'll get an answer to that from Tom. I'll get an answer from him tomorrow.
Yeah.
And see if we can get that. What else we got going on? So I do have another guest speaker announcement.
Cool.
And I'm gonna skip on October's guest for right now, but for November's guest, we are going to be having Sean Nielsen from Visible Dark.
Nice.
He's going to be coming on and hanging out with us, and I know he's been doing awesome with his YouTube channel and getting plenty of information out to the Astro community, and he does an awesome job. So it's going to be great to have him contribute to the AstroWorld community. So that's going to be an awesome thing. So we're still looking for guests to end up in December. So I would love to end the year off with a bang. If you guys have any ideas or know any contacts and you want somebody to get somebody on, let one of us know. We definitely want to do something very good, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get what's his name? William Yang. Maybe.
Yeah, you never know. I could, every once in a while, I've had the opportunity to chat with William every once in a while on Facebook.
Yep.
So you never know. Maybe if I get a chance and opportunity again, I might bring it up to him, see if he'd be interested.
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely. Why not?
Why not?
I've been trying to get in contact with G from ZWO.
Okay.
I've been trying to get in contact. I haven't had much luck trying to track him down. He's a really busy guy. So that guy is one of the hardest working people I know. That guy works constantly.
A little bit of insight to that too. The ZWO has been having some real issues getting through the governmental firewall. So a lot of the stuff on our beta tester side has been very not forthcoming. We're trying to get things out. They're working on a bunch of patches and things like that to get us our beta. They've got a ton of stuff in this new bundle, but they're having a lot of UI issues. So they haven't got us the beta yet for our tier of the beta group. Most of what we're going to get is an almost release version to do a couple of tweaks. So we don't have it yet, but that's why we're not hearing from G. He's been absent from a lot of things. We can get a quick little quip and you get 2 or 3 lines and then he's out. So they've been
I'm sure he's got to
get through that.
Yeah.
But he promises he's still with the company. Everything's going good. They're just trying to get through the governmental firewall.
Yeah.
I hear you. It's got to be tough. It's got to be tough. It's not a world that we live in yet. So
Yeah.
we'll just we got to take it as it comes. When you're stuck with certain situations like that, there are some things that are out of your control, and we wish everybody over at ZWO, Optalong, and all of our other Chinese partners out there that are helping us in the Astro community, all the luck in the world, and being safe, and just sticking with it.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I can tell Eric is doing something because he's nice and quiet.
Yeah, I was actually looking at.
Eric's not usually this quiet.
No,
Doing something.
I was just looking at my ASI Air and just checking the guiding, and it's not bad. So I just kicked off my session for day 2 on the Lion Nebula. So I think this will be with the Rasa. So I'm hoping I'm doing 600 second exposure.
Okay.
And I've already got 36. So I'm hopefully tonight will be enough that I can try, and then I can take my calibrations and then I can go ahead into processing, and then hopefully then during the week this weekend I'll be able to do a quick video on the L extreme, and my experiences with it, but with both my refractor and with the Rasa, and talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, actually, I'm starting to do finish up the video on the Pelican.
Okay.
And so I took a little page from Eric's video, and I did a little kind of thing on my rig, and I don't have the Sharknado going. But,
it was just my kid.
I thought it was cute. I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. Anything that, if I could take my little Chihuahua and float him through the screen, I would. I don't have any children, so I got to play with the dogs.
I tell you, Jackson's a crack up, and his little bit, like, I'm not getting paid for this. This is clickbait.
That's awesome. It's great.
It was great, and my wife would just crack up. So it was awesome.
That's funny. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Definitely. If I was you, I'd put him in more videos because they want to hear from him more than you.
Probably so. I wouldn't doubt it, man. He's out, and and it's so funny because he keeps begging, because he wants to do his own little YouTube thing, right?
Sure.
And stuff like that. So I'm showing him a few things here and there, but you never know, man. He might just want to just go, hey, come on with your old man. I can show you a few things, and and we could do this, and you can crack jokes. Just be yourself.
What you ought to do, Eric, is get him out and have him help you film something, and then have him edit it.
That would be funny.
just for nothing else, to see how it comes out. Whether we get to post it or not, it'll be a whole different thing. But
all of a sudden, you're going to see Paw Patrol going across the front.
And I don't know, because he's something else, and because he's into he's 10, and he's into that Japanese animation and all that stuff, and now but he's just a crack up. I'd love to get him out here, and we've talked about it quite a bit about getting him out here and just hanging out with the old man. So we should do it.
Old man, what are you, like 35?
Jeez, I wish. This gray, this isn't just from kids.
It's not just from kids.
It's not just from the kids.
You're not only the president, you're also a member.
Yeah, that's it.
That's why I got the lights on really bright.
Yeah.
Actually,
I got lucky. My one spot filled in. I had a big patch down here that was white for a while, and it finally colored in.
Yeah.
Man, you had like that Haley Joel Osment white patch.
Yeah.
6 cents.
Yep.
But no, it'll be fun. So yeah, So be on the lookout for that, guys. My experiences with the Alex stream. So, um, like I said earlier, it's become one of my favorites. So, have you had a chance to play with it yet, Jason?
What was
Much?
that?
The Alex stream. How much have you had to? How much opportunity have you had to use it?
The unfortunate thing is I've been so busy, which is good for my bank account, but bad for astrophotography.
Yeah,
Um,
true.
I've been trying to get some videos done and stuff for this stuff I've been doing for church, and then I am now currently in Albuquerque, New Mexico, helping a friend of mine produce some video content for her business. So I haven't been home, and I get home from this on Saturday and turn around and head to Miami for 2 weeks.
Oh
So,
wow. Okay.
I unfortunately am not getting the things that I'd like to, but it's a good time because I'm actually getting some work, so
There
I'm
you go.
taking it while I can because it might be the last work for the year, depending on how
Hey, let's just
the
keep our
coming
fingers
back online
crossed.
goes.
You just keep working, man. We'll figure
I'm
everything out.
hustling.
You'll figure everything else out.
Yep. But no, things are going good. Just wishing that I had some more time so I could do some more imaging and videos to get up on the YouTube and whatnot, but just haven't had time.
Yeah, I got to tell you, having that pier in the backyard and me being able to sleep, the only thing I got, you know what, the only thing I didn't take into account was the new sprinkler system. So I got to make sure that the sprinklers are turned off while I leave the telescope in the backyard.
Yeah.
It sounds like you might have gotten it wet
You
before.
might have got the wet
No,
ones.
no. You know what? You know what? It was yesterday morning. Actually, no, wait. Was it this morning? It might have been this morning. It was this morning. It was this morning. Everything's mushing together. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, because I knew the telescope was outside, and I knew I had to get up early anyway because I had to drop the doggies off for their grooming, and so I had to drop the dogs off at 9 o'clock. So I said I got up. The telescope was out there all night, so I got up at like 6:30. And I'm inside. I'm transferring files from the Eagle to my network, and and all of a sudden I hear in the front yard sprinklers going off. So like, oh shoot! so I go on my phone. It's a Wi-Fi sprinkler. So I go on my phone. I turn everything off, and I got to it before it hit the backyard zone. So I turned it off, brought the telescope inside. Everything was
Good.
Everything was cool. So I got lucky.
Whew.
Yeah. Yeah, not funny. That would be, let's see. That shows EQ6R Pro, Moonlight Focuser, Eagle 3 Pro. I mean, everything would have been.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because I got up this morning and Robin was like, "Did it rain last night? I didn't think it was going to rain." I was like, "What?"
What do you mean rain?
It rain. Like it looks like there was a thunderstorm warning that came through last night. I'm like, no. It better not. No, and it didn't. But no thunderstorm came through. It's just like, jeez, I could only imagine that, man.
I mean,
No.
that's the one dangerous thing about not having an observatory and just having a pier sitting outside, and you go to bed. If you have that random shower.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so unless if it's a zero chance, I don't leave it outside.
Well, and that's the thing. So, like a week and a half ago now, my wife and I are laying in bed at 3:30 in the morning. We're dead asleep, and all of a sudden I start hearing thunder. There was no storms predicted. We ended up getting an inch and a half of rain.
Wow.
It's just like where did that come from?
Yeah, no, that's not cool. God forbid. Insurance ain't gonna cover that. But so next week, any thoughts on topics while we're
Well, and next week I'll be in Miami, so I'm gonna have to hand the con back over to Dan because I don't know if I'll be able to try this on the internet again. From the laptop. The surprising thing is, it's working fine with the three of us. So I don't want to point at Tom because it very well could have been the problem with having 4 streams.
Right.
And I'm on a 100 meg line here.
it also could be the 4 streams plus the laptop. It could be the number of
Yeah.
Who knows? It could be so many different
4 streams before with your house, and that had a problem.
Yeah. So.
All And I've had 4 streams on my house, not had a problem. We did Adam Block, we did Ron Breacher, we did TJ Connolly. I mean, so there hasn't been an issue with that. So I think it's a combination of a couple of things.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But Eric, you and I are gonna have to get together, and make sure I got all the shots and everything that we need, because I won't be doing the green screen. We still haven't figured that
Right.
out.
Right.
Well, we had kind of figured it out. The hard part is still trying to get the lighting right. And
Yeah, that, and it's like the green screen chroma key on Wirecast
Wirecast.
is not great, to say the
Yeah.
least. And I still haven't figured out how to keep the green on the continents without making them turn black.
Yeah, and I haven't even gotten down. I've got my green screen in the chroma key, but I haven't even messed with it yet. To be honest with you.
No, I could do the chroma key in hit film. In hit film, I that's not a problem. There's a lot more control over the tone of the chroma key, even if you're not lit exactly right. It's a lot better of a program when you're dealing with that. It's a lot more post production stuff, and I got it for free, so that even helps even more.
Okay.
It's like a $400 program I got for free. I just got lucky.
Yeah, another thing that a couple folks were asking me about that I'm going to start looking into is I just got to get a little bit better with it. Is they've been asking for tutorials on AstroPixel processor.
Okay.
So I'm going to work on a series of tutorials on APP, and getting people started, and just going off of what I've done. And I'm no expert. Unfortunately, we're still waiting for a manual, an actual manual or something.
Some sort of documentation for it. Yeah.
For APP, because a lot of it you're just learning from forums and stuff, stuff like that.
Forums and a couple of YouTube videos that have been kind of
pretty
spotty
much.
at
Yeah,
best.
pretty much.
There's like 20 of them out there, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm going to work on that, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I'm a little bit more familiar with APP than I am with PI, but I'm still no expert on either one.
It's one of those things where you learn by necessity. So unless if you're a Ron Breacher or an Adam Block or a Warren Keller or something like that, you don't know every script in PixInsight. You don't know every process in PixInsight. Maybe every script, but you don't know every process in PixInsight.
Oh God, there's too many.
I mean, and there's too many things that actually do the same things, just a little bit different.
And APP earlier this week just released a new update that added a ton of functionality.
I haven't had a chance to update it yet to even take a look.
I don't have the time to learn another piece of software, man. Come on.
Well, so the thing is APP to me it looked easier. So I downloaded and purchased that first. And it was a major step up from doing DSS, because that's most of what I was doing was Deep Sky Stacker.
Anything's a huge, a huge upgrade. It's Deep Sky Stacker does one thing that Deep Sky Stacker does well is the groupings for different nights.
Yeah.
PixInsight, you just dump everything in.
Yeah.
But if you want to add a night, and then you save this, you can actually save those groups and those nights, and then just add night by night with Deep Sky Stacker. And I wish that they would do something like that with PixInsight, so they have a project save.
So that you could take and just pick up where you left off. Adding in additional content would be great.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, APP is nice that you can actually put in multiple sessions.
Okay.
You can put in multiple sessions, and you can mark, what goes with which session, your flats, and if you did any additional calibration frames for each night, you can add those things in there. So that's nice. But yeah, there's a bit more. I mean, I'm hoping. I haven't seen the new version yet, or I haven't even done the README yet on it. But I'm hoping eventually they're going to do noise, dealing with noise reduction, which has been a big that it's been lacking, in my opinion. It's been noise reduction. So I'm hoping that they're going to deal with that. And I know they've done. They had a big update not so long ago, also dealing with Comet. Comet processing. They did that maybe about a month ago, maybe a month or two ago. They did.
Right about the time.
Right at the time the comet disappeared.
Neowise came around is when they started focusing a bit more on the Comet processing. So I'm hoping now that Abdullah, who is the developer of it, hopefully he and his team have started focusing a bit, maybe putting a more focus on, at least in my opinion, on noise reduction, because I think that's a big is to look at that. Because I have to, because right now I'm actually taking it out of APP while it's just after I think it's right after I go to nonlinear, then I'll go in and I'll do my noise reduction, or it's the other way around. I have to figure it out.
Okay.
But I'll take it out of APP. I have to do some of my integration. I'll do my background calibration and light pollution removal. I'll take care of that, and then I'll end up taking it into PI and doing everything right now into PI.
Yeah, that's one of the good things that you could do is there are certain programs out there that do certain things just better than others. And I still find myself going to Photoshop because I like the way their curves run a little bit better. So I mean, there's definitely pros and cons to using more than one processing software to get your end result. So
and I've been using APP to do all the stacking and don't do a whole lot of any additional treatment, but I'll get the stack done and export it, take that FITS file in, and we'll then take the FITS file into PII and do all the calibration and all the adjustments, all the layer management and stuff like that, and then and then that's where I'll export, and then I'll bring it into Photoshop, do a little bit of tweak, usually in the histogram curve, and then throw my logo on it and export it as a PNG to put up to Facebook.
Because I still, because like you, I mean, you're right, Dan, is like there's so many different things that do things well. And there's certain things that you might be more familiar with than others. So like for me, I'm doing quite a bit with APP, especially with integration, because when I'm doing WBPP in PI, I was doing it, and every time I would do it, it would crash on me.
Really?
Yeah, it'd be crunching so hard that it would basically, it would fail on kicking out. It would make my master calibration files, but my lights, it wouldn't make the master lights. It would fail. But I did the same thing but if I take that same data and I put it in APP, it crunches it and it does it, not a problem.
That's weird. I've never had a problem with WBPP. And since I put in the new solid state drive and pointed all the swap files to the solid state drive.
Now, that's probably, because I'm running solid state drives. So
are you using it only for PixInsight?
No, I mean it's a full solid state drive, so I'm using it, but I'm not using it solely for PixInsight.
Yeah, I'm using it only for the swap files.
Okay.
Once I'm processing, all the worker threads go right to the solid state drive.
Okay.
And that's it. I just let it run. Go ahead, Jay.
And I know with like APP and PI, you can assign how many cores and how much RAM.
Yeah.
Do you have that same functionality in the WPPI?
Well, with PI,
PixInsight options, you can do that.
Well, in PixInsight and APP you do, but what about the software you were just talking about?
No, it's just it's just batch processing inside of Pix. Yeah, the WPPP. Yeah, that's what would crash on me. So that's when I would just take it into APP in and just run it there, and it ran fine. Because with the latest one with the Tulip Nebula that I just did, it crashed constantly.
Wow.
It would, and I don't know why.
Well, I hope I don't have that problem. I got 30 hours worth of data I want to do this week, so
So,
I'll try it again. With the Lion Nebula, I'll give it another go. And we'll see what happens.
Well, they just came out. They just came out with an update. I want to say 3
Yeah,
days
they did.
ago.
Pixelsite just came out with an update, so I have to download it.
So
well, and like Dan was saying, I've really maxed out my system. So I've got 120 gig of RAM. I have an SSD dedicated for swap.
and Threadripper boy over there.
Yeah. Marcus telling me the same thing. You got to get a Threadripper.
Well,
If I'm
and it does
getting
make a difference.
I'm getting a new camera.
The Ryzen 9 is actually faster than the Threadripper for what we're doing with PI. It benchmarks considerably better than the Threadripper, even the 2950 that I've got.
Wow.
Oh, the Ryzen, the AMD Ryzen?
Yeah, the new Ryzen 7900 series, the Ryzen 9.
Yep.
Simon just did his, and his benchmarks are ridiculous. And he's running 32 gig of RAM. I believe he has a dedicated SSD for his swap file, but they are just blowing his system away. And I mean, he hasn't choked it up yet, that he's told me. And it benchmarks much better on PI's benchmark.
Okay. Now, as far as your swap file, you said how large is your SSD that you're giving?
I bought a 128 gig SSD. It's an M2. So I've got 3 M2 slots on mine. So I have one dedicated for PowerPoint, Photoshop, and then I have one dedicated for the PI and APP.
Okay.
So they both route to the same drive.
Well, you're not going to use APP and PI at the same time, so that's
not at the same time. I have used them, and it hasn't been a problem because they're the SSD drives that I use are 3,500 megabit a second data transfer.
Gotcha.
So they're screaming fast. And at 128, there's plenty of space there for it to do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
And I've not had a problem yet. I was playing with, I can't remember which nebula it was, but I had 40 hours worth of content. So it was like 7 nights of imaging. Dumped it all in there and just let the thing chug. And it took it about 4.5, almost 5 hours to chug through everything. But it didn't even belch. And I had APP running other files while it was trying to pull together 7 days of data in PI.
Wow.
And just because I was, I want to see if I can kill my hardware, I was running 4 instances of APP, not all doing things, but all open, so they all had their swap files still cached.
Yep.
So I had 4 instances of APP, 2 instances of PI, and the 2 instances of PI were both crunching with 50% of the resources.
Wow.
And it still kept chugging. It took a little bit longer, but it still chugged.
Yep.
It's not something I recommend, but me wanting to kind of figure out the stress of what the system could handle, it did it.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll probably end up having to get slapping in. I have to max out the memory because I've just got I've got a Dell XPS here, but it's got 32 gig of RAM in it right now. But I'm going to have to max it out, and basically, unfortunately, maxing it out is just doubling the RAM. I'm going to 64.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's it. That's as far as I can go with this guy.
I tried to go 64 on my Alienware, and me and Jason were actually trying to figure it out. And for whatever reason, it just wouldn't take the 64. Even though I got 2 extra slots, and even though the motherboard is rated for 64, I put 32 in. All the slots work. I tried each individual slot with 16 in each slot. Worked fine. Popped the 64 in. The thing don't boot up.
I know with the Dells, I don't know specifically about the Alienware product line, but I know for a long time Dell used to bastardize their BIOS. That even if the board can handle it, even if the board can handle it by spec, they neuter it and BIOS tell it can't. So it won't even let it post.
I don't know. So I'm stuck at 32 forever until I buy a new. Sooner or later I'm going to end up building my. I just bought my nephew, a gaming. Well, he thinks it's a gaming computer. I'm like, this is a word processor. But he actually saved up his money. He did the research. He didn't ask me for help. He just asked me for help putting it together. So he got like an i3 processor, ninth gen. He's got a micro ATX motherboard. I forget what that from Gigabyte.
Okay.
He's got Fury RAM from the HyperX.
Yep.
And what else did he have? He got a really crappy video card. I told him, "What are you doing?" But he's like, "Yo, it's the most expensive thing." I said, "Yeah, it was $120." If you're gonna if you're gonna be a gaming, you're gonna want to upgrade all this stuff, and you're not gonna be able to because your motherboard's not gonna handle it. You're not gonna do anything in your case, and thank God you got smaller hands because I'm having a problem just putting a stick of RAM in here. So. But it's like a micro ATX case. I mean, it's like it's tight.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, eventually I'm gonna build because I've in the past I've built all of my rigs and I've always used AMD processors.
Me too.
But this one, you know what? I said, you know what? I don't have time, but I need a new computer, but I don't have time to build one, and spec everything out. So I just went ahead and bought this Dell outlet deal just to do things. And it's been fine, doing, 32 gig of RAM. But as I'm doing more and more exposures, and I'm throwing everything I got at this thing, and it's and then every time if I'm processing, Robin's like, is that is that an F-14 spinning up?
My what do I got? The what the hell is it? The 2060 video card. That thing just sits there. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like an airplane booting up, and then it stops.
Well, that's the thing is, I was talking with Mark about it because he just did some upgrades to his system as well, and he bought a King video card, and I'm like, for what? Nothing uses the video card. It's all CPU and RAM. So if we were doing heavy rendering and things like that, then I could see a GPU being of help. But with the AMD platform, it's not really going to be a benefit because they put all the power to the CPUs.
Yes, it all to CPUs.
Yeah, well, the only reason why I bought this one with the better video card was because I was running the show and I needed something to run the show.
Yeah.
And and you know what? This always happens to me. It always happens to me. I buy the 80 ED from Orion, brand new, $999, about 15 years ago. Buy it. 3 weeks later, they drop the price, and they come out with 100. Great, wonderful. Screw it. I buy this Alienware computer. 2 weeks later, they come out with the Ryzen version. Same price.
Yep.
Same price. I think it was $100 more for the Ryzen.
Well, in your 30-day, I would have sent it back.
I was probably over there. I'm probably like blowing that out of proportion, but it was like 2 or 3 months later, and I'm like, oh man, really?
Yeah.
But
it never fails, man. It never fails.
It's dreadful.
And, I had built up my initial system was with the 1050 Threadripper.
Yep.
And it was good, but I was starting to have some issues and started having some overheating issues. My liquid cooler was starting to fail. So I upgraded the processor to the 2970 and upgraded to a 3-fan, a little bit larger radiator cooler. That thing screams. And then while I was at it, I picked up a case that has better ventilation than the case I had.
Yep.
And marked difference. I went from an average of 39 Celsius at nominal operating temp to about 28.
Yeah.
Wow. That's 11 degrees.
Yeah. Well, and then even running at peak, they say comfortably at about 65 Celsius, I've never had it break 54.
Wow.
And that's running full tilt with PI and APP cranking.
Well, you know, I hate to break up this party, guys, but I got to get up at 5:30 tomorrow.
So I hear you, man.
Yeah,
I'm
so
cranky.
that's a little bit more than 6 hours away, and I've gotten no sleep the past 2 nights. So
No, I hear you, man. Well,
So,
hey, overall, this was, unfortunately, we had the audio problems, but overall, I thought it was great to meet Tom, and
yeah, we'll have him back. You know,
Yeah.
he's more than welcome to come back, and he's a great guy, man. So he's into doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
So
No, and I think, in talking with him, that we didn't really get to discuss a whole lot on the show, but he and I talked a little bit yesterday when we were doing our test. They've got a ton of stuff coming, so keep an eye on what
I know they do.
Keep an
I
eye
know
on what
they
he's
do.
going to be doing in his media releases.
Yep.
Can't talk about it. He didn't talk about a lot of the details, but just the stuff that they've got in pipeline is going to be game changing. So
Yeah.
It's going to be totally out of control. It's going to. Well, I'm not even going to say it, but just keep on watching. Like you said, keep on watching for us. He's going to end up being on YouTube and doing YouTube press releases and stuff like that for Primalucelab USA, and it's going to be outstanding. So, so next week's show, I guess I'm running. So that be prepared for more screw ups. So,
it'll be continuation of this for 3 weeks, and then I'll come back and we'll clean it up.
Jeez, I think we might cancel the week after next.
I'll take a hiatus and I'll pick up on the 12th.
No kidding.
It may just be some live streaming and watching me going into bed while I'm imaging. But that being said, keep going. Keep watching out. And Eric kind of mentioned before, pretty soon, the AstroWorld website is working. And if you guys still got the link, I'm not going to say it online, but if you guys have the link, go look at it. There's a whole bunch of extra stuff that was put on over the past couple of days.
Okay.
So a lot of really cool Flash stuff, a lot of really cool things for individual, to individualize it. So there's an Eric page, there's a Jason page, there's a Dan page, there's a Simon page. So it's pretty cool. So you can talk about your rigs, you can talk about whatever you want, and a place for articles, place for live streaming, place for the videos. It's going to be wild. There's going to be a lot of content on there, and we're gonna flood it. We're gonna flood it. So
can't wait,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, and you guys will have access to kind of put stuff in it.
There. Yep.
Nice.
So
yeah, I'm
but
hoping
anyway,
I can sneak in a quick photo on Saturday.
What was that?
I'm hoping I can sneak a quick photo to get stuff to you that I've been promising, but it's just every time I turn around, I get pulled away from not being at home.
Work is work. Right now, you're working, so work, and then that'll come, man. Don't even worry about it.
Yep. And then, I'm wrapping up. We just took the pictures. My daughter took pictures for me just today. So I'm getting the family involved here a little bit, helping the old man out. So,
yeah. My wife won't be involved at all. She brought me a drink at like 9:30.
Yeah, I saw that. She just handed me a drink. The hand coming on the green screen.
I don't want to be on the videos.
Exactly.
You could be like Thing.
Exactly. Oh man. Well, all right, guys. Well, Dan, get some rest. I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna check on the my progress here on my imaging, and then and call it a night myself.
And so you're gonna have a video on the Lion. I'll have a video about the Pelican. I'll have part 3 also on Sequence Generator Pro. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about plate solving in depth. That's
And then I'll, forget now, I'm gonna do a video on the LX stream. So we're gonna talk.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Give my review and my thoughts on that. So it'll be fun.
Absolutely. All right.
Awesome, guys.
All right,
good night, guys. And I will see you next week on the disaster that is Dan. And, with that being said, again, like how I ended up every night, keep imaging, keep educating, keep having fun. See you guys next week on AstroWorld TV. And guys, have a good night. Clear skies.
All right, guys. Clear skies. Have a great weekend.